I'm going to show you different types of repeat markings. If you'd like to keep a reference on hand, you can download the Repeats PDF. It's free. The link is in the description. This is a forward repeat with the dots on the right, and this is a backward repeat with the two dots on the left. What you do is play up until the backward repeat and then jump back to the forward repeat and play that bit of music again. It could be just a few measures, or it could be several lines. Then there's this backward repeat, so we immediately jump back to the forward repeat. And if there's any more music after that, you keep going. Unless you see a marking like 3x or 4x or 3 times or 4 times, you only repeat the section once, so you end up playing it a total of 2 times. And then if there's any music after that backward repeat, continue. There can be multiple repeats in the same music. When you encounter a backward repeat, go back to the nearest forward repeat. So this jumps us back to here. Then you continue. We have another backward repeat here, so we jump to this forward repeat. Sometimes you'll see a backward repeat with no forward repeat. In this case, go back to the beginning of the music, not the beginning of the line, but the very, very beginning. This bracket with the number 1 is a first ending, and this other bracket with the number 2 is a second ending. Here you play up to the backward repeat as normal, which includes all the music in the first ending. Then the second time through, skip the first ending and jump to the second ending. This jumps us to the beginning because there's no forward repeat, so back to the beginning. Now we skip to the second ending. The first ending could be 1 or 2 measures, or it could be several measures. No matter how many measures it is, you always skip the first ending and jump to the second ending the second time through. Most of the time, you're going to see a first and second ending only. However, you will occasionally see something like this, especially if it's a song with several verses. Here we have one bracket with the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and another bracket with the number 4. In this case, you will end up playing the repeated section a total of 4 times. The first 3 times, you play the first, second, third ending, and the last time you skip and play the fourth ending. There's another class of repeats that includes combinations of DC, DS, Fine, and Coda markings. When you encounter a DC marking, repeat back to the very beginning. You'll generally see a DC marking paired with a Fine or a Coda. In this example, we have a DC al Fine. This means to jump back to the beginning and then stop at the Fine marking. And notice that there is a final bar line at this Fine marking. Normally the final bar line appears at the end of the written music. Here it appears with the Fine marking because this is where you stop playing. Here's a DC al Fine, so the DC jumps us back to the beginning. And here's the Fine marking, so that's where we stop. This is the DC al Coda, and notice that we have some written music after the DC marking. This is the Coda, but we don't play it yet because this DC marking jumps you back to the beginning. With the DC al Coda marking, you jump back to the beginning, and then you play up until it says to Coda. From that point, you skip all the way to the Coda, which will appear at the end of the music. Sometimes the Coda appears as text only, to Coda, or just Coda, and sometimes it will include this Coda sign. So let's say we've been playing along and we're in the third line. This DCL Coda jumps us to the beginning, even though there is some more written music. Now here's our 2 coda markings, so we play these couple eighth notes and we jump to the coda. DS markings are similar, but instead of jumping back to the beginning, you jump back to the sign, and that's what we call it, the sign, this S-looking sign. You will also see the DS marking paired with a fine or a coda, and it works the same. When you reach a DS al fine, jump back to the sign and then stop when you reach the fine marking. We'll pick it up here in the 4th line. Here's the DS al fine coming up, so after these couple eighth notes, we jump back to the sign, beginning of the 2nd line in this case. And here's the fine, so that's where we stop. When you come to a DS al coda, jump back to the sign, play until you reach the 2 coda marking, and then skip to the coda. Picking it up here in the 3rd line. There is some more written music. We're not going to play it yet because the DS jumps us to the sign, in this case beginning of line 2. And here's our 2 coda markings, so we jump to the coda. I've got one other type of repeat to show you, and that is the measure repeat, which looks like this. If you see a measure repeat, you simply play exactly what you played in the previous measure. The music starts off with this little bit, and then there's a measure repeat, so you do it again, and again. Now we have another little bit of music, so we play, and then we play that again, and again, and again. This is a 2-measure repeat. It works the same way, except you repeat the previous 2 measures. We have these 2 measures here, and then a 2-measure repeat, so you play that again, and another 2-measure repeat, so you play that bit again. You can download the Repeats PDF and a bunch of other stuff for free. I'll leave a link in the description. And for more guitar lessons, music theory, and solo guitar arrangements, please subscribe.